They say justice is blind, but the system sees only what it wants. Equal and the same. Time to break the chains. Equal and the same. Yeah. Woke up in the fight, no sleep, no peace. Courtroom lies, they twist the words, they never cease. Ada on the books, but they treat it like a joke. Disabled parent fighting for my kid, they revoke. Hammering down the truth, every episode we drop. Equal and the same, we ain't never gonna stop. CPS overreach, violations in the file. Deprivation of rights, we document every trial. They ignore the law, section 504, title 2. But we rise with the mic, exposing what they do. How many more families gotta break? How many more rights they gonna take? We see through the veil, we feel the pain. Equal and the same, we stand, we fight, we scream your name. Head erased, they will not fade. Fighters united, we're bringing the rage. Equal and the same, no more silence, no more shame. Podcast warriors, voices unchained. Equal and the same. Henry in the booth, dropping knowledge like a bomb. Tiff in the punisher, sounding the alarm. Motions to dismiss, non-compliance in the court. They violate the act, but we push back with force. Parents with disabilities stripped of equal ground. Kids turn away while the system spins around. We document the abuse, we share the raw truth. From Connecticut streets to the national booth. No more hiding, no more looking away. Fighters of that way out the door. How many more families gotta break? How many more rights they gonna take? We see through the veil, we feel the pain. Equal and the same, we stand, we fight, we scream your name. Ada rights, they will not fade. Fighters united, we're bringing the rage. Equal and the same, no more silence, no more shame. Podcast warriors, voices unchained. Equal and the same. This is our stand. Equal and the same. No more excuses, no more abuse. We demand compliance, we demand justice. Break it down. Break it down. Equal and the same. Ada, Ada, Ada. We claim, fight, fight, fight for the right. Equal and the same tonight. We stand, we fight, we scream your name. Ada rights, they will not fade. Fighters united, we're bringing the rage. Equal and the same. Voices rising from the flame. Podcast warriors, forever unchained. Equal and the same. Equal and the same. Keep fighting. The revolution is live.
Well, hello everyone. 4/4/26. My name's Henry Martaccio. Welcome to Equal and the Same. I don't know. I know I promised you guys a midweek brief, but you know how things go. You just can't get it done. You can't get it done. I'm almost there, but most of the time when you say that, you find a new avenue to fight, a new argument to do, and you're right, John. It's never done. It just keeps on tolling, and you know that's what I feel in life. But I hope you guys had a chance to review last week's document, and tonight I'm gonna basically take it easy because I don't know what is going on, but I have no meniscus in my right knee, and for some reason I got such a cramp in my calf and numbing on my toes. So if I'm a little off, guys, you know, had to go get the prescription stuff to take care of the pain. I don't get what's going on with my leg, but it's like everything else in life. When you get old, you get broken. Yeah. So, but yeah, we had a good week. Some other people we know are making some power moves. I'll leave that for another night with them. Tune in Sunday night. Hopefully, we'll have some announcements there. But other than that, just a crazy another week, guys. This damn war's got to wrap up. I'm starting to feel the effects of it. I don't know about you guys, but it's like 410 a gallon for 87 octane here. And I just don't see the reason why this war cannot end quickly, just to open up that oil flowing again. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have much to say tonight. I was very late. It was my fault this time because I tried doing something today and I'm like, oh, my legs started throbbing. So I had to go grocery shopping and get food. And man, I wasn't sure if I wanted to come on or not, guys. So I think we're just going to lay back tonight. Looking for our friend Herbert. I don't know where he is. He was going to, you can't hear me? Oh, there you are. There's Herbert. This is my friend Herbert, guys. Herbert used to work with Darren a long, long time ago. He's somewhat retired, but still keeps himself active. How you doing tonight, Herbert? Herbert can't hear us. I don't know. He's typing in the box. Darren, is there anything you can do to tweak out his microphones? It'd have to be in your microphone, Herbert. Make sure your microphone settings are okay, because I think you're on a cell phone. So when you're on a cell phone, it causes problems with Restream. Darren, is there anything you can do in the background or no? Because Herbert's somebody I just gave.
He's got to try to come back in, I think, because it's not showing his microphone or stuff.
You're gonna have to come back in, Herbert. Quit and come back in, buddy. You got to get your wife's iPad. You're going to have to quit and come back in, Herbert. On cell phone, guys, it just doesn't show sometimes. It depends. My mic is off. Well, turn your mic on, Herbert. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, so we had a good week, and I sent Herbert something the other day, just as technical, educational, and Darren has sworn to me that he's uploaded a lot of documents now for you guys to start seeing how my strange mind works.
I did, Henry. I put them on the web, on the email, on the website, cpsbreakingnews.com.
Okay, so if everyone goes to cpsbreakingnews.com right now, you'll be able to see a lot of good technical information and a lot of technical advice. Yep. I spent a lot of the week as I was building my removal, also creating legal maxims and creating doctrines of law on the ADA and as it applies to a lot of things. One thing I did want to work out was that argument, because remember that girl that kept on saying that she couldn't get around because she didn't have transportation, and they were asking her to go crazy places for her, because obviously you can live without a car if you're in an inner city and you do all your shopping on the block and Amazon delivers and stuff like that. But when you're out in the country, everything could be that country mile drive. And it clearly shows that, from what I've done for research, if it's done in medically necessary, and again, guys, when they say you're sick and you can't parent your child because you got a type of disability or perceived disability that they don't want to name, they have to treat it as a sickness, and they have to give you the program, service, and activity that is best insured for you, so that you can ensure program success, if that makes sense to you guys. They just can't give you, again, I love the DOJ settlement agreement scenario. You're 10 feet offshore. There he is. Herbert. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, it's not picking up his microphone for some reason. I don't know why.
It's the cell phones. He's got an older generation cell phone, and he was bragging it to me today that his is old, and this is what I meant by when it doesn't communicate here, Herbert. If you can hear me, if you don't have a modern phone, these systems are moving so fast that they don't want to even bother trying to communicate.
Yeah, it's crazy how those work, isn't it? How these phones just know automatically what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do.
Right. Well, I know with my I got an old SE, right, and I was telling them the story that this is iOS 18 only. I can't. I think it's for iPhones are up to iOS 21 or 23 or something like that.
Mhm.
So I can't handle any more updates, and they're not going to bother making updates for my old phone. So
Yeah, does it make you wonder why they do that? Why they it's clearly about the money, right?
oh, it's absolutely about money pushing us junk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we can't get it any better, so we'll stop making updates for it. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know if we can go. If you can pull up that, because if you do it, Darren, versus me doing it,
Yep.
pulling up the website, and we can go over some documents, and I can explain what's in them. Because guys, don't it's crazy. Me, I start off with something, and I might start off on what's an attorney obligation. By the time it's said and done, I've broken it down to everything from judges to attorneys to clerks to. So you really got to look at the document and the heading and think if the heading applies there, it's going to apply to multiple situations. So you just don't want to just assume like I think for Herbert today, I gave him a document about grandparents' rights in Pennsylvania, and it was pretty mind-boggling. And I actually give the case law because in Pennsylvania, believe it or not, Darren, they don't have the right to ask a grandparent. They have to give.
What do you mean?
And they also have to give the wraparound care. So if the grandparent is older, they're entitled to certain services to make sure that that child stays in a community setting. This is what it is about, guys. Keeping people in a community setting and intact with their family to the fullest extent they can do. They cannot say, this is an undue burden. And again, if they said you were a pig and you can't keep your house clean because you got physical disabilities or whatever, they have to give you a cleaning person. If that's the only issue, give you a cleaning person.
Those are things that the ADA has to produce for you?
I believe so, because it would be part of a auxiliary tool and aid.
All right, that's interesting.
So that's my belief. And again, when you start looking at the program services and activities, they have to have effective communication. They have to offer auxiliary aids and services. So that's where the ride to the DCF reunification at their facility would kick in, is underneath auxiliary aids and services too. So at least I know that on medical, it's underneath auxiliary aids and services. So why wouldn't it be the same way?
Right.
If they're medically evaluating your relationship by non-licensed people, that's the funny part. It's again one of those crazy things. Yeah, so I don't know if you want to show the people the landscape, Henry. Maybe you can try to help us out. One of the hospital band, put a link out for this person.
Yeah, to come on the show.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm not the know-it-all. I'm just somebody here who's dove into the ADA, and I've learned, and I beg every day for somebody to call me out on how wrong I am. But yet to this day, I cannot have somebody call me out, and I don't get why. I look for an open debate. I look for a debate of our parents' rights. I look for all this stuff, guys. This is what turns me on, is the debate, because if it can educate us, then I make you more powerful to go into the courtroom. So what you want to do, Erica, you want to go click on that. First, you got to close out of Facebook or Restream or wherever you are. Yeah, I don't care about your boyfriend. Go in another room.
Henry, she's asking you a question. She's not arguing with you at all.
No, I just saw seen me and my boyfriend snoring some off The arm.
This is Erica. She's a great guest, or great viewer of ours.
Yeah. And again, I'm not.
She says, Henry, maybe you can try to help us. The hospital banned us from going on their property. My boyfriend had a doctor's appointment to establish a new care by a doc. The nurse, well, the medical assistant stated that she's seen me and my boyfriend snorting something off the arms of the chair. This is not true. We told them that we are willing to go all the drug tests, but they will not. I have done one through work, came back negative. That's what she's asking you, is if you can help her with that. She's
okay. No, well, the only thing I can think of is all hospitals are recorded, guys. So that's it. I don't see how a hospital can just ban you. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense. So you're gonna have to go a little bit deeper on that one. Can a hospital ban you for I guess you'd be saying they're claiming substance abuse on their property?
I would say so, but when you think that would come with a criminal charge, no?
I would think so. That's why I'm saying to you, a lot of that would make me kind of scratch my head.
And come on, we all know that an office chair isn't big enough to snort 2 lines off of.
Can a public hospital throw me out of a public place of the hospital or its property if I have a drug or use disorder and I was in their foyer using drugs? Apply it to the ADA, please. And again, I'm just using really quick because I've trained mine really well. We got Darren's up and going now with all these documents. It's just easier for me to go here because mine's right here. I'm going to ask the question just so that it has an idea what we're getting to here. And because I don't think they can do that, because one, it would be a conflict of my interests in my head that you're kind of seeking medical and you already have below is a clear grounds for your answer. You needed without judgment and a precision. Short answer, most important, yes. A public hospital is a Title II entity and is a FOIA lobby, is a public place covered by the ADA. But the ADA does not protect somebody who is currently using illegal drugs at the moment of the incident. It does protect people with substance abuse disorder who cannot currently, who are not currently using illicit drugs or who are seeking medical care.
So what they cover is, and here's the thing, Henry, this is a very touchy subject because the ADA only covers opiate recovered addicts. That's the only drugs that they cover is the opiates. And you cannot test positive for street drugs. You can't test positive for any of that stuff. It's only for opiates only. So that's the only people that they do help and move forward with as recognizing that as a disability.
I mean, I don't think so. I think there's more to it than just that, because you also have disabilities of food disorders. You have,
No, when we're talking about chemical dependency in the ADA, that's what I'm saying. The only ones that they will.
Well, no, from what I've seen, I believe in alcohol too. Is you can't be using, so you can't claim ADA protection if you're still using.
Right, but does ADA cover alcohol? I don't believe that they.
Yeah,
do.
it does. Yeah.
Well, I know as far as drugs that it was just the opiates that they are covering because that was a big deal about that. But you can't be an active drug user at the time. They said that there's no cameras in the exam rooms. There was no police contact, but the hospital called and said that they were ending care for him. We went on my chart and found why.
What's funny is my computer right now is saying, "How did security or police respond?" that was both of our first questions. Remember, I said, "Hey, is there a camera?" And you said something about the coppers. Why isn't there a arrest?
Right.
So again, I would think it's kind of bullshit, and that's where I would at least engage and try to file a complaint with a designated responsible employee to see if you could produce that type of evidence. Because again, it can't be a hearsay thing. They have to have strictest scrutiny with prophylactic protections. So the prophylactic protection part would be access to your cameras.
And wouldn't you think that there should be HIPAA coverage while you're in the hospital as well?
Well, that's what I'm throwing out, that people's rights would be kicked aside because when you're in a public place, you're in the foyer, you're not in the hospital doctor's room, examination room. So two
What
would
did they
be,
say? Erica, why did they say that they discharged? What was the reasoning of discharge?
they said because of the drug use. I thought you said. Let me minimize this. Yeah, I would personally go after the cameras. I would want cameras. Erica, 28 CFR 35.107, because most hospitals do take state money and federal money. That means they're going to have a Title II obligation. So not only are they serving the public under Title III, but they also have a Title II problem too. And next problem is if his treating physicians are there, I think that's kind of like discrimination right there. I'd have to break it more apart, and again, without a couple of more words. But I'm giving you the
okay. And let's just take it from here, Henry. She said that her drug test came back negative, so therefore that puts her in the guides of the ADA because now she's
her drug test. I'm talking about the fact that the one that's actually accusing them of doing a crime in the foyer, that again, you would have some type of recording device on everyone at all times in any hallway, any area of the hospital. So again, if that person's lying, what was the purpose of their lie? Is it because of their prejudice? I don't know, but I'm just trying to show you.
I'll tell you this, man. I will tell you this, that I know that people, if they don't go in the hospital and they're not wearing a suit and tie, if they go in there and they look like they're kicking in their pajamas and they got a backpack on, they're immediately considered that they're homeless and that they're a junkie. And I know that for a fact because I got a lot of friends that dress in this manner or attend these places, and I have a lot of recovery friends.
I believe it.
Like this, and they go in the hospital and they get zero care, or they get accused of things like this.
I believe it.
It's absolutely disgusting. So I believe that these hospitals, these medical facilities, these banks, these offices, you start to fall asleep now, and someone accuses you of nodding off.
So basically, that's what we're telling her to do is go seek the designated responsible employee, 28 CFR 35.107. You should be able to pull up the hospital. You type in ADA complaint. They should be able to have the complaint procedure. Make sure it doesn't go to their HR department. It has to go to a public entity person who's designated. So that's what I would start off.
They were in the exam room. They were in the exam room.
So they're saying you were in the exam room snorting. Really? Come on. That's just.
Well, why wouldn't you use one of the benches then, or one of the tables or something? Why wouldn't
you use the countertop? Yeah,
right, exactly. Thank you very much. That's just common sense. But furthermore, how did they know? Did they open the door and saw you snorting something? Well, or supposedly,
you would still have the film of the person coming in, the nurse, I assume, or the practitioner coming into the room in the amount of time. Whether or not she's on the camera freaking. And I think some of those rooms don't have privacy curtains. You're open to the, if you're in an emergency room, you're open to the staff lounge.
Well, if they have cameras in those exam rooms, that's big problems, man. That's big problems.
Yeah, they don't have them in the room.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. If they had them in the rooms, and that's big problems, man, because I know that they're not listed on the doors. If they were, because there'd be all kinds of people up in arms. I mean, you don't need to be laid out there half naked.
Listen, you don't even want to know what my opinion is, but I definitely feel there should be microphones because it doesn't make sense with this whole HIPAA shit. Like, let's just say your halls and everything are all secured in like prison systems. But when people are getting beat up or raped, it's in the showers or in the bathroom. So why don't they have a microphone system in the showers or the bathroom? You don't need necessarily a live film, but a microphone for safety would be appropriate. And again, most people with disabilities don't even get that.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. But I did find one report that I just attached to the brief as of 2 days ago, that the Department of Developmental Services in the state of Connecticut had over 4,239 complaints and allegations of neglect and abuse by their own providers. They killed 15 fucking people, Darren. 1 year. I am so pissed, guys. And again, I can feel the OxyContin kicking in now. And, you're gonna get me all fired up, and I'll maybe talking stupid. But no, honey, I would definitely do something. I would file that complaint, demand any videos, do discovery. You know how to do all that. Yeah. So John, we don't know where the hell Herbert is. Maybe he gave up on that crappy phone he's got.
Probably the same one that he had always had.
Oh, he was proud. It's a flip phone, Henry. And I'm like, Herbert, they gave it to me for free. How many years ago? Well, a long time ago. Herbert, you know,
The problem is, Henry, is it still has a cord attached to it.
Oh, no shit, probably. A bag phone. I just caught that one. But we're teasing Herbert. Herbert's a great guy. And guys, the reason why I wanted him here is because he did read, you know, because I created him something for somebody that he knew. And again, I wanted him to explain to you guys, we run on policies and procedures. And this is for you too, Erica, that hospital is totally on policies and procedures. And what you want to do is, if this person is making false allegations, the way you're going to do it is through your disability rights, is to be able to hang them. Or is it going to be something they're just going to turn over to you? Are you going to fight night and day? You're going to fight night and day for it. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't have to be. So again, I would seriously, you know, quickly Google the hospital and then turn around, put in ADA complaint, find out if it goes to the HR department of the hospital. And if you got no choice, at least establish it and say, hey, HR department is a Title I entity. I am a Title II and Title III service to the public.
All right, but here's my question, Eric. What are you asking about the ADA if you call up and say that you've been accused of doing drugs in the hospital?
The person has to investigate. So that person would see that her drug test, see the camera system, and say there's no way that this nurse could have seen what she could have seen. You know what I mean? Or do what they did, or maybe even interpretate. I don't know.
Okay, here's the protocol for this. Is a generic protocol for hospitals right here. If you're caught or using or possessing of illegal drugs in a hospital, the procedure involves a combination of medical intervention, confiscation of the substance, security involvement, and legal action. Hospitals prioritize patient safety, so the immediate response is designed to manage the acute risk. First off, confiscation of the substance. Staff will immediately confiscate the illegal substance and any paraphernalia. They did not do that. Security and administrative notification. Hospital security or public safety officers are usually called, along with the charge nurse,
Big shots.
charge nurse and the physician. An incident report is filed to document the event, securing the staff against potential future claims. They search the room and the people's belongings. Under most hospital admission agreements, the hospital has the right to search and patient rooms and belongings. Illegal substances are sealed and, depending on policy, either destroyed or stored in a secure area. Hospitals try to avoid involving the police, but some do seek to use the police as an extra arm of their investigations. And against discharge, if a patient refuses to comply with the safety policies, they may be asked to leave to be discharged AMA, which can prevent them from receiving necessary treatment.
Wouldn't it also be too that if they thought you took some illicit drug, that they would have then turned around, like you said, to cover their asses, implemented fucking Narcan or something like that?
Well, this says here that in many cases, especially in modern harm reduction approaches, hospitals may try to continue with their services and link you with an addiction specialist.
They have to.
Medication.
They have to. It's no different than an employer. If you're in your bathroom at your employer's fucking building, and it matters on size, guys. You can't just say to mom and pa. But if you're in a big corporation, we'll use lawyers, because the bar's already brought this up, that the bar association gives AA and drug addiction to the bar members. They support them being in rehabs. They support and give technical awareness to this. So again, guys, it ain't making sense. And that's why, again, Erica, grab the designated responsible employee and start filing the complaint. Put the complaint in. How can it be that you're this is a treating hospital for our problems, and if we are, they can't turn their back on you. Um, I know one person who walked out of a rehab, and it was a holy fight. And again, they told him, that's it. We're not giving you no services. And he's like, "We'll call a cab for me." And they told him to pound sand. And that's part of the tough love situation, because he was already dried. He already went through a step down program, and he was going to a 30-day program. And after about 5 days, they started hitting a nerve on him. And that's when he started freaking out, and he got out of there. Of course, he came home, relapsed, and all the whole 9 yards. But, if he wanted to stay, they were going to work out his problems. He didn't want to stay, so they told him, "Here's your bag, here's your walker, get a fucking ride home yourself." I thought that was funny. A fucking guy, 70-year-old guy with a bag and a walker. Imagine that, in the middle of a city that he has no clue, 2.5 hours from his house. I didn't see the end of that one, but again, I let him know, fuck you, man. It's you skirting the fucking getting sober.
Yeah. Well, see, another problem is that they have these things called drug diversions in hospitals, and that's where people switch the medicines. And that's a scary thing. I'm reading a story right now that says during this time, we were talking about a nurse in 2019 and 2020 that was switching vials of fentanyl with other vials of things, and so there wasn't fentanyl in these vials. So she replaced it with saline water. So these people were patients were undergoing surgeries, painful surgeries, and they were getting the medications. And it says the doctors and nurses originally believed that they were giving patients fentanyl and ignored the patient complaints of pain. Patients understood something was wrong, but because of the time-sensitive nature of the procedure, continued to endure the extreme pain. Despite the large increase of pain complaints from patients, no one at the clinic investigated the cause. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
you just went in there and had your chest cracked open for open heart surgery, and they're not giving you anything.
Believe it or not, when we were younger, I had a nurse friend. She was actually grabbing the drugs, and they just walked her right off the property. And I think she ended up getting arrested down the road. And that's where, Erica, the whole thing just doesn't smell right to me. I would again be looking, because the only route you have to overdo that person is to go with, like I said, go with a complaint. So that's it. But hey, can you see on my screen now, Darren?
What can I see, Henry? Hold on, I was just reading this.
I believe I got a document up that, again, I want these people to see.
Yeah, up here. There it is.
Okay, this is ADA thoughts. When a court tries to keep medical information or educational information from a parent, they fail to address the frauds of the ADA protection. So it's like I said, Philadelphia. I just went through, and again, the Superior Court held that the juvenile court did not employ adequate procedures and failed to provide notice and denied her opportunity to be heard. We welcome the compel to vacate the protective order. This is a procedural due process right. It's also lays in the foundation of Title II violations, because one, under the ADA, denial of notice. So in reality, Erica, my feeling is they could have given you a denial. They should have given you an ADA notice too, that you can appeal, because they just can't say you got a drug dependency and say you got to go, you're never welcome back. Denial of participation, denial of meaningful access, failure to investigate discrimination. And that's what we're getting into with the designated responsible employee. But in this grandmother situation, these are all things that the DCF did before they stole their grandchild. Failure to modify procedures. So again, I don't know how to tie that into Erica, but it'd be if they have a zero tolerance, you'd have to go to a detox anyway. So I can't even say they would say, okay, it's okay if you smoke cocaine in your car and come into the hospital. You know what I mean? But anyways, this is again about the grandparents. Superior Court's finding of systematic procedural failure is exactly what DOJ looks at for ADA Title II enforcements. The reason why they look at that as a big thing is because what I've learned is the ADA really doesn't have teeth, but where you get them is under the False Claims Act. Because if they're claiming compliance, you're taking the federal money and they're not giving out the program services and activities, that's the teeth. ADA was intended that everybody would be on their honor system and that this would be recognized as a civil right just as powerful as women's rights, minorities' rights, or whatever, to be there. But again, you're going to see when you look at my questions to them, Pennsylvania already has been founded in the systematic ADA violations. So this is great when I keep on telling you guys to look at your state's DOJ settlement agreements. And I don't care if it's from cops to schools to your civic centers. It'll all tie in. And again, it's crazy. So again, why this help for the disabled grandmother? Because again, she's getting up in age. We're not saying she's fully disabled, but she's going to need help chasing after a
Are you saying that she's old?
Well, there is. I mean, even me, bro. I don't know if me being 60 years old, I can go out and ride bicycles and do all the stuff I used to do with Nate when he was 4 years old. They got a lot of energy.
Right.
So that's all. And
I
again,
just want to know if you were calling that person old, Henry. That's all.
I no, because she'll bitch slap me if I do. So I don't need that. And but yeah. So again, guys, this is a perfect situation. Pennsylvania DHS is already under federal ADA scrutiny. Philadelphia DHS, which is their DCF or Department of Human Services, has been already sued for ADA violations. This gives you the perfect legal foundation. Now, if you find all that information about your state, why wouldn't you attach as another argument to why these people are fucking with you for no reason at all? And it spins the table and takes it off you and puts it on to them as an affirmative obligation. So that's what I would be doing, Erica. Again, take it off of you, put it on them. Well, if we were drug addicts, why did they just let us leave without doing Narcan or figuring out what the drug was?
First, you don't want to just Narcan anybody. That's got to be an opiate overdose.
I'm just using Narcan.
No, I get it. But I'm just saying, let's not just start having everybody being Narcan.
I mean, fuck. As far as I'm concerned, somebody saying you snorting shit off a chair rail, aren't people sniffing cinnamon now? You know what I mean? There's a challenge out there.
Snorting about anything. Do you know, Henry, that you can't eat a spoonful of cinnamon?
Yeah, the powder makes you choke.
Right. Yeah, it swells up in your mouth.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I couldn't even imagine who's stupid enough to take the challenge to fucking snort a line of fucking cinnamon. That's got to burn your fucking head.
Oh my gosh, it's got to be terrible.
It's got to be terrible. Stupid kids today,
I never snorted anything that people told me to snort in school. No. It's just not. No.
Now there's this guy Porter. He used to make cinnamon sticks, and they were hot as fuck. They were toothpicks that he would just fucking put pure cinnamon extract in it. And that shit was fucking hot, dude.
And he would have you snort them?
Nah, we'd fucking put them in our mouths. If you take one or two of them, you were considered a tough fucking dude. That's how hot they were, bro.
Oh.
I mean, it was crazy. That was his thing, man. He walked around. Other guys sold candy, Nolinators, I think they were. If you wanted a candy fix on, you throw the guy a quarter, you throw you a package of fucking Nolinators. Little hard candies. It's crazy. But again, here it is, just the way it is. But what I wanted to show you guys is whenever you see a red part this is where the computer's telling me I can go another direction. How do you want to go there? Or it could be me asking it a question. So when you guys see all these different built things up there, I even give you templates for motion for enforcement of Title II of the American Disabilities Act, 504. So Erica, you could take this part of it and then develop a Title III, because what works for court entities, what works for school systems, what works for towns, and what works for hospitals are all the same. They all have the same obligation. And this is where people ain't seen it, but there's also a Title III obligation they have, because they serve the public, but they take federal money. So with them taking federal money or state money, that gives them the Title II aspect of it. And we all know there ain't a hospital that doesn't love Medicaid.
Yeah.
It seems like they're the ones that get the services, substandard services, we'll say.
Well, I mean, their bills getting paid when they got Medicaid, right? That's the way they
Right.
with it.
Right. Their beds are filled.
Yep.
But again, here it is. The courts must apply strictest scrutiny and prophylactic protections.
Prophylactic.
There you go, Darren.
Prophylactic.
Stanowski, Stanley, and Olmstead. The courts must apply strictest scrutiny when the disabled rights are impacted, provide prophylactic protections, and prevent discrimination. So that's what you're basically making this complaint about, Erica, that she did this as a fact, like Darren said, might be the way you guys are dressed or the way you looked or whatever, that she didn't want your kind in her hospital. I don't know. I'm just giving it to you that way as for you to think.
And I'm sorry, man, snorting off of an armchair just doesn't make sense to me. Unless it was a big arm.
No.
You know.
And especially letting them walk out the building without inquiring to what it is.
That's right. No, considering policies of the hospitals and their procedures are one to confiscate the drugs. And they didn't do any of that. So I'm calling BS on this too. Not calling BS on Erica, calling BS on this medical establishment doing this to them.
Right. And again, guys, I give you guys case law. I need you to jump on it. Make sure it's legit. Make sure you understand it. You don't have to read it 100% like word for word, but you got to understand the intent behind it. And it's real basic intent. They must protect. And again, I love the least restrictive alternates. These are all things that they have to do. And this is why I keep on saying to you guys, when DCF sends you over to their building and says you got to have an evaluation on your relationship with your child, who the fuck are you to be evaluating whatever disabilities I have? Are you an expert in that in relationships or even relationships or, the whole 9 yards? So, but my bigger argument would be it's not a natural environment. It's not a natural way that my children and me would be integrating and acting. We'd be sitting inside of some fucking rundown building with shitty ass toys. We'd be doing something on the go or whatever your thing is with your kids. Darren, yours was paint and arts and crafts, right?
Yeah, sure.
And again, that could easily be done. Somebody could make an argument that could be done there. But again, if it ain't the same environment, which I noticed your films, you guys were outside a lot. So, yeah. So again, so then I asked it, here's a powerful court-ready supporting affidavit. So you always want to put guys' affidavits of truth in, and that's what we would recommend to you, Erica, is to put in an affidavit of truth that you were not doing that. You have not. You took a drug test afterwards. Your husband took a drug test afterwards. That's the affidavit of truth. And remember, if it ain't refute it in 21 days, you put it in there, it becomes the truth of the case.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay. So, either you produce that in a written explanation on why she didn't call the police, why she didn't call her supervisors, why she didn't offering you some type of drug counseling services, but went right to bouncing you off the land. Do you see the craziness behind what we're saying? Because we just can't believe this is happening, but at the same time, you're not asking the correct questions.
Right.
And that's what it is. It sucks. This is how they get around all their bullshit. Even with schools, you go to IEP, you could say, listen, I'm telling you, the school, the skies are fucking black, and the schools agree with you. But as soon as that IEP meeting ends, they write in the IEP, oh, the skies are blue, and you don't refute it. That becomes part of the established fact. So anytime you guys get any type of family evaluation or DCF evaluation, you have to refute. You have to put in something as an affidavit of truth to refute it. Put in the clause 21 days. Stricter scrutiny, courtroom transcripts. So scrutiny, stricter scrutiny hearing script. I even tell you, Your Honor, this hearing concerning the court's affirmative obligation under Title II of the American Disabilities Act, the 504 rehab, and the 28 CFR 35.107, which again, guys, that's the designated responsible employee who's supposed to be doing investigations. Similar and the same to, I don't want to say it this way, but it is a rape victim, because if you are disabled, you are being raped of your civil rights. So there has to be case name, case number, who's involved, fact, conclusion. And the best part is, if there was discrimination, they have to propose a plan on how to stop the system from doing it again. That's the biggest part. And it's being undone. So when I say undone, if they're not following after 35 years, we're still fighting the same arguments that they did 35 years ago that they were using against parents with disabilities or perceived disabilities. So again, this is all, again, demands for an ADA coordinator compliancy. Your Honor, I'm requesting the court to direct the ADA responsible employee to immediate comply with 28 CFR 35.107. That includes a formal ADA investigation, issue of written findings, providing corrective actions. That's what I said earlier, producing an ADA policy itself. So that's another thing that you'd be looking for, Erica, is the hospital's policies. If you go underneath the hospital's policies on what to do if you got people doing drugs in their facility or bringing drugs in to patients, because I think that would be a big thing too. Because I know went to go visit that older gentleman in the step down unit. And I even had to lock up my belt. I had to lock up my wallet, my keys, everything. I couldn't even bring a cell phone in there. So it's kind of like you're going into a prison system. And I do think they are prison systems, because when it's staff and employees, I think it's an institutional setting. And that applies for our kids in DCF care. Ensuring all staff involved in the case were ADA trained. So has that nurse ever been ADA trained, per se, in the drug use? That's why I would be chasing it down. These are not requirements. These are federal. These are federal requirements. These are not requests. I'm sorry. These are federal requirements. DHS is violating an unlawful screening criteria. So basically, Erica, this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. Other than tweaking up the word DHS, you put in the hospital name, you're taking out of the state of Pennsylvania, you put in whatever state you're in there. It's basically the same story, honey. This ain't hard. I've done all the lifting for you guys. And again, how can now, if you want, I could prepare cross-examination, DOJ complaint, a 35.107 audit and demand. Again, I went bullshit on this, guys. It just goes on forever and ever and ever. And this would be probably, if you're the type of person who likes to read on the toilet, great stuff to read. But again, motion to compel disclosure of medical and educational information to ensure meaningful access and affect participation for the disabled caregiver. So that's me basically saying, listen, DCF, the bullshit of you telling me I don't have an association right to know that that person is not being harmed currently is kind of wrong. You must turn over underneath the ADA all the medical, all the educational, because what I found hilarious with them is they're wanting to go bust down her door and do an evaluation. She hasn't seen her grandbaby in almost 2 years.
Yeah.
We don't know what disabilities she has. We're going to presume something.
Yeah.
So again, you're in the system. You got something. That's the only reason why you're in the system, guys, is because you're disabled, and they get extra kick on the benefits to be paid by the government. So basically, I'm saying, no, guys, the disabled caregiver who prospectively provides safety and appropriate care for the child. This Molivent is seeking access to the child's medical, developmental, and educational information to ensure meaningful access is, again, understanding of the child's current needs. That's big, guys. This is why you're telling them you're not saying you're doing an investigation on them. Please do not even put that in writing. But in reality, by me getting this medical and educational information, you can sift through it now and see if there's something out of it wrong. If there's nothing wrong, you've got nothing to say. If you got something in writing that again, well, wait a minute, why was a child here on this date for bruises on their leg at the hospital?
Right.
Those are the things that you'd go down that rabbit hole and investigate. And again, did somebody recommend certain educational things for the children and they didn't do? You got them. You got them. That's all I can say.
Now, what do you get when you get them? What do you mean by that? You got them, now what? Now they have to comply. They have to pay you. What do they have to do here?
Remedy. They have to remedy the person's wrong.
Okay.
What does that mean? Remedy means a wide open door, bro, because we can't define remedy.
I see.
Your remedy is going to be different from my remedy if we're talking school over DCF over doctor's office. Get what I'm saying? It's all, they have to correct the system. They have to correct your wrongs. They have to bring you back to day one and start all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the appropriate program, services, and activities.
Prophylactic.
But I would almost sit there and say, if you got them that bad on it, there is no, because it'll take them 2 years to become compliant, 2 to 3 years.
Is there a time frame that they have to fulfill compliancy?
That was due in 1990, 91. Sorry. 1990 is when it was passed. 91 it was compliancy. 2008 80 AA of the American Disability, that's the amendments to the American Disabilities Act, clearly gave them to 2010 to be compliant. And since that time, there's other things like website accessibility. Now says that's it. I think that was in 24. That said that's it. Everyone's 100% compliant. No more of this bullshit of undue burdens. Basically, when what the government first did was claimed that this is an undue burden against them because they're not financially equipped to handle it. They don't have the structures in place. So the DOJ was relaxed on it in the beginning, and that's why there was never no teeth. Because again, they realized there's a cost to doing this. And again, just like the hospital, my feeling is that they should have walked Erica and her husband right up to the detox floor and offered them some kind of inpatient treatment.
Right.
Right. If you're that sick to be inside of a medical room seeking medical treatment, God only knows what it is, but my mind always goes, oh, it's your heart or blood or you can't keep food down or something like that, or you got a broken bone, which you might want to do drugs then because they ain't coming fast enough with the morphine.
Yeah, right.
Then you might have an argument. Hey, they let me sit here for 2 hours in pain, so I did whip out some shit to relieve the pain.
Yeah.
Again, it plays. That's what there is no locking it down. That's what's beautiful about the ADA, Darren. It cannot be locked down. And this is what people don't want. The judges don't want it. The system don't want it because they got a meat market and a meat grinder that they got to grind X amount of people a day to keep the system flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, here's an educational memorandum of law and support. So again, I'm not sure, but I believe, well, we gave the case law above in the motion. I did notice that. But you always want to make sure case law is inside your memorandums of laws too. I think it just built it as an educational purpose, which that's all we're seeking right now is educational purposes. So I don't know. Let me see if I can pull up another one just so people start getting an idea of what I'm trying to do. This is the core legal reality. Grandparents are not foster applications. Pennsylvania cannot treat grandparents with an established parent-like relationship as if she was a stranger to apply to foster care. So, guys, this kind of would apply to you guys if you're in your state and you were looking to adopt one of your nieces, nephews, or even your best friend's child, because it clearly leads out you already got a relationship. In the state, this is the beautiful thing that nobody's getting this. The state must use the least restrictive means to maintain family integrity. That's the whole thing that they're skipping. They're going right to their cash cow. Their cash cow is to adopt out. So we get into it a little bit there too. And again, they're asking for a home study. She doesn't want to give it to them. But my feeling is the home study is irrelevant without knowing the child's disabilities. Because, like I said to you, Darren, what if you got a plant in your house that's some poisonous plant and this kid is now known for eating plants? You know, taking a bite out of a plant or whatever, always got to put things in their mouth. Then, yeah, they can come after you after the evaluation. Well, oh, look at, she's got a poison tree right there. And that's going to kill the baby because the baby, well, why didn't you just tell me the baby has this type of
we didn't know we had a plant eating baby.
Right. We will get rid of it. Just like when I got Nathan, you know, the hot tub was gone, the pool table was gone, the booze was gone, everything was gone because I knew I was getting a home study. I had to make it look like it was a kid's environment.
You had to get rid of the pool table?
Yeah, that sucked. That hurt.
Oh my lord. The pool table went.
Yeah, because I knew he needed a sensory area.
Yeah.
So I had to give him a hanging swing. I got to give him trampoline type indoor trampoline. Just that, and I can't just picture him not picking up the pool ball and taking it and throwing it at my TV, right?
Or you, right?
Or me, whatever. So it's common sense shit, guys. Yeah. So I ask everything. Title II, a reasonable modification request. So this is what you can ask them, Erica. You have the authority to ask them for a Title II, Title III reasonable modification request. You know what I mean? That you promise that you won't show up on the property with drugs. You promise, you know, they have to give you more than one opportunity, Erica. This is all I'm trying to get to you. They just can't close the door and say, oh, you were doing drugs, that's it. Or even better, DCF or any of these agencies. Oh, you were a bad parent, you're done. So again,
is this, Erica, has this been attached to you guys by the kids? Are you already involved in this stuff, right, with CPS? But I'm curious if you do have the
I'd be curious to know if the hospitals have actually got access to those records. You know, do they have access? Again, yeah, you're right, Darren. If the kids were taken and they did some kind of evaluation against you guys, So again, but agencies consider retaliation underneath, because again, this is what you're going to accuse her of, is under 28 CFR 35(1) prohibits retaliations against individual who assert their rights or successes on appeal. So again, I'm sorry, wrong one, but there is a section for retaliation. And again, was she trying to retaliate or coerce you guys into something you guys didn't want? So meaning they wanted the room for somebody else, not for you guys, or they just wanted you guys to leave the hospital because they thought your sickness was BS. Um, Again, immediate. See, this is what's going to be great about this person, this grandmother. I'm even asking for a home study, but I also want a foster care licensing assessment or in trustee evaluation. So these are the things that we're asking for by shifting the table off of her and shifting it onto them. Does that kind of make sense what I'm doing for a power move, Darren?
It does, because see, the whole thing is, and again, I say this time and time again, is that Title IV funding is supposed to be used to enhance and to help these families that need help and assistance with whatever their problems are. So, in a sense, invoking the ADA is a way to actually make them use the funds that they are getting that are supposed to be used for you. They're making it happen that you wouldn't get this if you didn't invoke ADA rights.
And why do you say that, Darren?
Because they just don't do it.
No. Why do they have to answer you?
Why do they? Because they have to.
They have to answer you because now this is federal funding.
Right.
This is not a state statute. This is federal law. And just like I'm doing on the appeal now, because that's been the habit of 18 years against me, the state actors and state players do not want to address. They do not want to apply. They do not want to use the strictest scrutiny standards with prophylactic protections. And that puts an affirmative obligation on them, not me.
Yeah.
And so when we're sitting there saying your due process is being violated, there's more than one way that they can do it. And most people ain't seeing the obvious that they are fraudulently spending federal money to keep their programs, services, and activities going. Because the less dollars they can give you, it's more program savings that they have that they can return back to the general fund to go back to the judges' pensions now. Get what I'm doing? Once they clear up as cost savings, they kick it back to their general fund like the state of Connecticut does, you know? And again, it doesn't even make sense to me. Because
but this is a good way, Henry. This is, you know what, this is a really, and I don't want to say this like milking the system or whatever, but this is a good way to jumpstart the system to get you the services and the cares that you will need in these situations.
no,
See these things.
it's not only that, it's to put them on notice too, not to fuck with you, because now you know their dirty secrets. And you know what? I'm going to go see Papa Bear federal government and do a federal oversight and let you answer to them why you're treating me like this. And it's easy because the path is there. And guys, trust me, the path is there. I'll blow your mind. Even as a private attorney general, you are a private attorney general. You are a tester of the system. You hold absolute right. And Congress says, government, you fuck with your people with disabilities, they have the right to just directly go to the federal government for review and oversight. Well, our friendly government there hasn't been doing their job. State knows it. So again, I even give a motion to enforce Title II of the American Disabilities Act. Guys, this is all generic. Obviously, you can customize it to you. What applies to one disability applies to any disability. That gives greater protection to the disabled. So again, if it's necessary for them to implement the Indian Welfare Act on your ass, then they have to do it.
And we'll put all this up under, this is all going up under ADA with Henry on the CPS Breaking News website.
I thought we started off the show that it was already up there.
Yes. Well, I'm just saying that it's all under that. That's what I'm saying. It's all under ADA with Henry on the CPS Breaking News website.
And what I'm hoping for, because this grandmother has not reached out to me, and I'm hurt because I did take the time in the middle of my hurting, because that's all I can say. I'm hurting right now. To go ahead and whip this out for her really quick, and again, yeah, it was no more than what, an hour of my time, but I do an hour for this person, do an hour for that person, do an hour for this person. Fuck it, let's just start publicizing this. You guys got to start learning this shit. And instead, again, you know, it's purposely written this way because the I can't even not molients, the
Monument?
yeah, no, movement
Monument?
is kinship care status. So again, that would be a parent or a grandparent, or again, somebody that's a really good friend to the family. So this all can be changed and twisted, but I believe there should be at least 50 different versions that we have so far that should be up there. From the day you engage DCF all the way down the line. Over the last few months, I've been building them, and I think I've CC'd Darren on quite a few of them. So I don't know, but it's just, what do we do? You know, guys, if we're all sitting here wasting our time saying the system is broke, we're not calling them out on how they're broke, right, and what they're doing wrong, then you don't have a right to scream discrimination down the road. And for what I'm doing here is a real simple application for you to get your fastest path to the federal government, because we know the states are making way too much money on this. They're not going to give up their cash cow. They're going to want to keep you in there, that 60-day mark, that 30-day mark, the 6-month mark, because they get bonuses. And then they get a bonus on the adoption. You know, even down to when you get a speeding ticket, your ticket is bonded, brother. They're getting money. They're getting money from having you in court. Plus, they get to hit you with a fine, which doesn't make sense. So here's your Granville, Troxel versus Granville, Stanley, Illinois. These are all cases I love. PA Department of Human Services 2020. I haven't read that one yet, but the Pennsylvania Kinship Care Preference. So again, if you guys are looking at, you know, losing custody of your children, then my feeling is I'd almost want to read that case just to see where they're tuning in to the least restrictive placement. At least you'll have a good understanding. I know it's Pennsylvania. You might be in California. It don't matter, but it starts to give you keywords that you need to use and the style of questions you need to ask. If that makes sense, right, Darren? Even here, I didn't know Pennsylvania has a Juvenile Justice Act. There it is. I'd be looking through that as a current situation, what's in there. Federal guidance. This is what I was really trying to get to, guys. Federal guidance and administrative authorities. The U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights, ADA Technical Title II Technical Assistance Manual, explaining the obligations of public entities, including child welfare systems. And I believe it doesn't say, but I believe it's going to be found the ADA Technical Assistance Manual for States and Towns, 1990. This is how old it is, guys. They've conned us 100% with this smokescreen and the basic arguments we can't even make because people ain't realizing they have to go to the conception of the law to understand the law. Once you got the conception of where the law is, like right now, hey, we were supposed to not have no government interference in our life. Well, it took them, 250 years, and that's all we got is government interference telling us that, we're too stupid. We don't know when to put a seatbelt on, or, we don't know that we got to secure our furniture to the walls because some kid might climb up the wall and knock over the dresser and kill them. But again, protecting the rights of parents and prospective parents with disabilities. That was in 2023. It's saying here. I haven't read that guidance, but I did read the guidance from the Judge Bazelon Center, who wrote the original paper, I think in 2004. So again, these are all things that we need to look at, guys. These are huge things to be sitting and reading while you're on the toilet or wherever you got a chance to read, because it's nothing more than, again, education is deadly, because if you're sharp and you're in tune to your argument, you can dance on your feet in front of anyone and just shut them down every particular way. And again, these are all I haven't read this one, but this is in a Connecticut case because it's the second court, but it's PC versus McCullen, family integrity and due process rights. These are the cases I would be reading, guys. You know what I mean? It's again, it's tying it all in, not only as a grandparent, but also as a parent. So again, just to show you, because that was the whole point of me telling you how I start off, and by the time I'm done, I even give you guys the hyperlinks. Come on, man. I can't make this any easier for you. Federal guidance on administrative materials. How much easier is this? This is just, it's incredible easy, guys. And literally, somebody said this to me the other day. Henry, when you write a DOJ complaint, you got to almost hand them the whole case, because they won't be able to put it together themselves. And I says, you shitting me? And they're like, yeah, it's pretty sad. And I kind of believe that. And that's why you'd want to do things like this. So again, what I'm doing is I also made up an ADA Title II doctrine card. And this one is specifically for Pennsylvania. But it wouldn't be hard to whip up any of your other stuff. And again, as applied to your state. But I get into some crazier stuff. ADA Title II briefing sheet. This is for you, for the coordinator, the Department of Pennsylvania. The purpose of this brief is a mandatory obligations under Title II. So however you guys want to tear this stuff apart, cut, copy, paste to make it towards your own factor, you can. Summary of requirement of compliance for the disabled grandmother caregiver. ADA requires no foster care home study, no license requirements, no restoration of kinship care status, no modifications of procedures to avoid discriminations, written confirmation of compliance, and protection from retaliation. So those are the things that they would have to guarantee her. Draft a letter of compliance, formal notice of Title II violations, failure to investigate discrimination, failure to provide reasonable modifications, failure to comply. And again, Erica, this would be under you. Obviously, you still have to tweak it to you. But there's points in here that apply to you because it's a Title II entity with Title III obligations. Failure to comply with reasonable modifications, imposing, failure. Oh, come on. I thought this is the one where motion for Carter. Oh, motion and notice. I even put in a motion for a notice to the court regarding judge's affirmative ADA Title II obligations, failure to provide prophylactic protections, and continuing discrimination in the violations of federal law. So again, I go after judges, guys. And this is what I was saying to you. It's underneath the heading of a grandmother, but it fits everything you need to have. Even the memorandum of law. Come on, guys. It's incredible. I do it all for you. Short and sweet. Don't have to be complicated. That's about it. So I hope people will be able to. Hey, Darren, is it possible they would be able to have an area to be able to expand? Expand anything they find wrong with my writings? I can't hear you, brother. Yeah, I'm up on my TV, so it ain't me. Is it my headphones? Can't hear you, brother. Try it one more time. Let me go over to my headset. I got you on my headset. Still can't hear you. It ain't us, brother. We wish you could hear your words. All right, Erica, you're dealing with Henry. What's IDK stand for? Still not there, huh? Anyone got any questions? I mean, what Darren's trying to get his end going. There you are. I can hear something now.
IDK is I don't know Henry.
Hey, meow meow. Hey, kitty.
Look. Hey, look. Hey,
Round.
Look. Hey,
Round.
look. Hey, look.
I want them to I want Darren to start using all his little kitties to make kitty videos. I don't know about you guys.
I do make them.
You know, well, within the last
I made
week.
The little mafia. I made the little mafia kitty video.
I didn't see that one. I saw the one where it jumps on your leg and it says, "I love Tiffin Punisher." Hey, another thing too, I caught in your show at the beginning of the week where you guys did that analysis between Tiffany and you. Well, why can't we have Tiffany, you, me, Gunner, Angry Citizen, Sam, whoever else?
What, break it down between all of us?
Yeah, all the different shows and why we're the slamming fucking bad boys on this market that don't charge compared to other people. And by the way, if we figure out I got $3,000, I got 3 pages from Francesca Amata, I would almost say just on one brief alone, that was 162 pages we put out last weekend. So that would mean that we got to be up to 500 pages. Holy Christ, are we giving you guys a fucking value for the money?
You know, I even dropped the price to the essential package of the CPS Punisher app to $20.
That was greatly appreciative.
So it went from $49.99 to $20, $19.99.
That to me is where it's at, Darren, because you know what? I know you didn't do it and build it for the money factor. I know you build it so you can impact people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the thing is it cost me money to do, so I'm just trying to cover the costs, you know.
Right.
That's right. Danielle and Brenda and Beauty and Ashes too, John. That's right.
And what we need to do is, guys, really seriously, you need to ante it up because I'll tell you honestly, it's going to be worth it. Because, how can I explain it? At least when I'm writing shit, right? My mind's going so fast, I skip over things, and I don't know where the AI tools that are writing for us today are able to make it in a more sensible direction. And you can always come in and tweak your craziness into those documents to make it more like it was more human written. But
You should always, even when the AI tells you things, always go and research it yourself.
you have to, even
Always
with the
make
stuff.
sure always make sure that it's accurate, and make sure that it.
Well, that's why I said, hey, can people leave comments on any of these documents that are up there? Because again, things are going to morph, things are going to change, guys. What could be case law today could be overruled tomorrow. So
Yeah, or new
that's
case
why
law added, right?
that's why you have to check, you have to fact check it and cross check it and see if there's any current documentation on whatever subject you're trying to achieve.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know, but
Always make sure that you check your stuff.
I don't know. So what do you think? We did good tonight? We all done?
I thought it was a nice show. It was a little, it was
Well-
too bad that Herbert didn't come in with us.
Well, I think he's texting me now because somebody's texting this shit out of me. Yeah, it's Herbert.
It's really too bad he couldn't come in.
Herbert, we're still waiting for you, and that's why you don't have a damn 20-year-old phone. Steal your wife's iPad.
Herbert, come in and say hi to your fans.
Herbert, come in and say hi to your fans. Everybody's looking for you tonight.
Yep.
John knew you. John says he's been waiting to see your face for years.
Herbert's he's been gone for like a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had to tie in John into this conversation too.
We used to have some good arguments with Herbert.
How's it going up there, John? You still got 2 feet of snow up there in Canada?
He's up in the Nord, He's up there having the Canucks.
They should be sugar season.
Is it sugar season now?
Oh yeah, right when the snow melts.
No kidding. John, do you make maple syrup? Erica, what's your plan of action now that we've talked about this? We've devoted a whole show to your problem. What is your action? What's your next steps that you're going to do? What do you take out of this? How do you feel that was your
rights violated, or were you discriminated against for being perceived as being disabled?
What are you going to do?
Is she still with us?
She must be. I mean, we just devoted a whole show to her.
He's got a lot of rain. How do you got a lot of rain, my friend?
Herb, Tatiana.
Hey, Herb.
Has absolutely nothing to do with my phone. I've been with Darren for 3 years with the same phone. Absolutely nothing. I'm going to tell you what it is.
Well, don't forget, we got you live right now, telling us all what it is.
Oh, live where?
Where do you think we're live?
I don't know where you're live.
Say hi to everybody, Herbert.
And I see Darren.
Well, we got you live. We got John up here saying, "Where's Herbert? I miss Herbert."
Well, that's good to know. So then that means, am I on the show or am I on a conference call?
You are on my cell phone, and my cell phone is being recorded on my mic on my head because I got you on speakerphone.
Okay. So the way it was done before, the way Vinny used to send me a link, I got it on every single time.
Yeah, but remember what we were talking about, how phone technologies upgrade to the technology, and you said, mine works great. This is
No, it does.
probably,
It does,
but we even went into this for Restream, and Restream says that they have a hard time with cell phones because if you don't deny access to your microphone and camera to all other apps while you're using Restream, your phone will not be able to automatically flip over and connect to Restream. So
Okay, how do I get a Restream account? I sent that to you in a text.
it's not about the account, it's about how Restream communicates with your cell phone.
Okay.
So you'd have to go into your phone. You'd have to shut off all other privileges which is a pain in the ass, Herbert. Where if you don't have the iOS updated system that automatically does it because your phone can't handle the latest and greatest updates. That's what it's
Okay.
about.
Okay.
Darren wants to know how old your cell phone is.
Oh, I don't know. I just know it works perfectly all the time, and I have a lot of apps in there for my job that I have to keep.
Well, is it 10 years old, 5 years old?
Yeah, I've said within 5 years.
Yeah, because anything in over 2 years, it's considered obsolete.
Yeah, okay. So why can't the thing be sent out the way it was before?
Because they keep on changing their technology, Herbert. It has nothing to do with Darren or me. It's the big gurus who program these systems to be able to communicate with each other.
Okay.
Herbert,
So then the
guys,
only way I
Herbert.
can get on is with my laptop.
Hey, America, you thought I was bad with technologies? I want Herbert on my show next to me because I'm going to look like a freaking champ. Darren's laughing his balls off.
What I will do next
Love you, Herbert.
I'll try my laptop out.
So the whole show was dedicated towards you tonight, even though you weren't here, with your Pennsylvania friend. And I'm hoping your Pennsylvania friend will learn something when she sees this, that this is not an attack against her and her skills. I'm just giving her another option to turn the tables. And for right now, Herbert, we're calling her your friend because we don't have permission to use her name.
Oh, you can say the cousin.
Well, okay.
I have female friends in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So, okay, I get it.
You got it. Okay, so let's not get into a long, drawn-out conversation. We're going to see you next weekend because John from Canada is pissed that you didn't come on. He purposely tuned in for you tonight because he knew you were coming on.
Yeah.
You'll be here next week, Herbert.
I saw myself on there with you and Darren, and I sent you that in text.
Yeah, but we can't hear you. You're not the first one that we have this problem with. We can't hear you.
Now I'll tell you something else too. There was a part of me that says you're going to turn your mic off. I didn't turn my mic off.
It could have been turned off. Like mine, I could turn mine on and off on my phone.
No, I'm just saying I didn't turn it off. It was off. My mic was off. I could see you guys, but I couldn't hear you. And if you take a look at what I text you snapshots. You, me, and Darren. You will see snapshots of us on the show.
All right. So, anyways, you have 1 week. You have 1 week to get your wife's iPad up and going, or
we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out for her.
We'll get them figured out, even if we have to send you a phone so you can directly communicate with us.
No, you gotta send me a phone. I'll be using my same phone. I'll use my computer next time.
Okay.
I'm trying to do the computer thing.
Okay.
I have a laptop.
All right. So, guys, you hear it. John, next weekend, same time, same channel. Herbert's going to finally show his face. He's going to come out of retirement and become an advocate again.
Yeah, he's coming back. Herbert's coming back.
Well, we're talking about a public advocate where you help the globe because John's in Canada. Tonight, I'm going to call it all good. Herbert, we'll talk to you soon. Reach out.
CPS came knocking.
Yeah, but Darren can't talk to you. Only I can. So, all right. Hey, Herbert, we'll talk to you later. We're calling it quits on the show. I believe you. Talk to you soon. He feels like we're attacking him so bad.
No, we're not attacking him.
No, it's just guys. You guys got to understand these old cell phones just don't keep up with the technology. These guys have got so many communication levels. They don't want to be hacked. You got to have a modern phone or a computer to be able to talk with us. So, but anyways, hey, Darren, thanks for letting me have the opportunity tonight to vent. Yeah. I say bring us backstage.
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this Tuesday we will have a special program, and I'm going to hammer the shit out of a lot of people.
And don't forget, www.thecpspunisher.com. Henry, I'll see you backstage.
Hey, my brother, thank you. And then everyone, thank you for tuning in tonight. And John, God bless Canada.
In your corner, vengeance prolonged, no retreat, no surrender, no compromise. The skull don't blink when justice arrives. CPS Punisher. We don't ask, we deliver the thunder. CPS Punisher. Family forever, tyrants go under. Punisher rising, the war's just begun. Download now, your fight's already won. Punisher rising, the war's just begun. Download now, your fight's already won. CPS Punisher. The CPS Punisher. Just deserve cold. Protect what's yours. Stand tall. Fight on. They say justice is blind, but the system sees only what it wants. Equal and the same. Time to break the chains. Equal and the same. Yeah. Woke up in the fight, no sleep, no peace. Courtroom lies, they twist the words, they never cease. Ada on the books, but they treat it like a joke. Disabled parent fighting for my kid, they revoke. Hammering down the truth, every episode we drop. Equal and the same, we ain't never gonna stop. CPS overreach, violations in the file. Deprivation of rights, we document every trial. They ignore the law, section 504, title 2. But we rise with the mic, exposing what they do. How many more families gotta break? How many more rights they gonna take? We see through the veil, we feel the pain. Equal and the same, we stand, we fight, we scream your name. Head erased, they will not fade. Fighters united, we're bringing the rage. Equal and the same, no more silence, no more shame. Podcast warriors, voices unchained. Equal and the same. Henry in the booth, dropping knowledge like a bomb. Tiff in the Punisher sound in the alarm. Motions to dismiss, non-compliance in the court.